皆さんこんにちはこんばんは，大家好，我是英英。今天要玩的是霍格华兹的传承。上一集我们突破了古代魔法的第一道试炼。教授说了，学生生活最重要的是上课，还是要好好学习才行。今天我们来上奇兽饲育学。
Welcome, everyone. I see you've already met some of the many beasts we study in this class. Though be advised, none of these creatures should be taken lightly. They are all in their own way dangerous, especially if one does not know how to handle them properly. Now, it seems many of you are out of practice. Let's take some time to review the basics of how to care for a beast, shall we? Miss Sweeting, would you please assist our new student with the lesson today?
Yes, Professor Howen. Hello, I'm Poppy Sweeting. Don't worry about Professor Howen's speech. She over-exaggerates sometimes. All the beasts in class are perfectly safe. Oh!
Miss Sweeting, pay attention, please. The tongue of a puffskein can be a slippery devil.
Yes, Professor.
这个胖球蛮可爱的。
You can practice on Gerald. Just keep an eye out for his tongue. You can use my brush. Just be gentle. Oh, and think pleasant thoughts. I like to think it enriches his experience.
帮胖球刷毛，好可爱哟！
That's lovely. I'm sure he feels much better. I think he might be hungry. Would you mind giving him some beast feed?
喂他们吃饭。好可爱！
What do you suppose the pellets taste like to Gerald? Pudding, I like to think.
这饲料
I think
飞
we
在
can
天空
safely
上
say that Gerald likes you.
That's good news. He seems very nice.
He is. Kindness is one of his best qualities, right after ambition. And cleanliness.
Good work, everyone. Now, let's make our way to the pens and select another beast. And please, do be careful as you feed and groom them. Miss Sweeting, why don't you show our new student to the Neasels in the farthest pen?
This way. The Neasels are over here.
狮尾猫，好可爱哦，是猫咪耶！
Oh, couple of Neasel whiskers ought to get me a few canuts at least. Enough to buy something from Honeydukes. Stupid thing.
它在偷拔它的胡须。这看起来有点坏耶。
What are you doing?
Tuss, peculiar Poppy. Worried about a worthless little rodent.
Her name is Persephone!
Her name is Persephone!
哦天啊，这两个同学很有问题哦。
Let's go.
Those two don't belong anywhere near this class. Poachers in training. Persephone was onto them instantly. Thank you for your help. Let's carry on. Feed and brush the Neasels just as you did with Gerald.
帮狮尾猫刷毛，还有喂它们吃饭。第二只也要刷一下，好可爱哦！吃飞行饲料。
The Neasels really took to you. They know a good egg when they see one. As do I.
It appears our time has come to an end. Please close the pens and see yourselves out. Now, where is our new student? Ah, there you are. I would like a moment, please.
Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me?
I did. How did you find your first beasts lesson?
很棒，好可爱哦！
It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
Good. you seem to understand that when beasts are properly controlled, they can play a vital role in our lives. Some provide us with magically imbued materials, if cared for correctly, which does not include torturing them for whiskers. Well done, by the way. Probably best to let me handle it next time.
Yes, Professor.
They're nearly as bad as the Savagers in Rookwood's poacher pack. Sadly, we're the ones who suffer, stumbling over dead beasts. Terrible waste of resources.
Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps.
An optimistic idea. Now, why don't we focus on more immediate matters that we can control? Professor Weasley has asked that I prepare some assignments designed to help you catch up to the other 5th years. Be on the lookout for my owl. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to study as many beasts as you can on your own time.
Psst, psst. Over here.
Did you need something, Poppy?
Thank you again for saying something to those brutes so that I didn't have to. You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least, that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet. In the forest.
要介绍谁给我认识？
You've intrigued me. Very well, lead the way.
I'd hoped I would. Come with me. I wouldn't take just anyone there. In fact, you're the first.
哇，
Really?
真棒！
Well, thank you, I think.
As I said, we think alike. Pleasant surprise.
每个告诉我秘密的同学都说，我从来没有跟别人讲哦，你是第一个。
Quite the weather we're having, don't you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you. Don't worry, we're nearly there. It's just ahead. Stand back.
是鹰马，经典的鹰马来喽！我们要向他鞠躬，这样他才会信任我们。
Please meet Highwing. Isn't she just magnificent? Go on, introduce yourself to her. But be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them.
"他回应我们了。
I knew it! I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on in the castle. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody.
可以帮鹰马刷毛了，看起来很舒适。来吃点饭。吃点饭吧。鹰马不是应该喂他们吃雪貂吗？我可以骑它吗？它看起来很开心。
So, what did you think of Highwing?
非常棒。
I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest?
Perhaps. Did you know that once you earn a hippogriff's trust, they'll always be there for you? I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to safety and, well, she was fine until recently. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area, so I worry they could get her again. And I might not be there next time.
Professor Howard mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the ministry to help.
I don't often agree with Professor Howin, but on that, I fear she's right. The poachers' influence is growing. I see them every day in the village, lingering, talking to people. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what.
听起来非常可疑，都在盗猎动物。
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something.
Exactly. I think I'm going to look into it, find out what's going on, what they're doing.
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more I know, the better I can keep Highwing safe.
You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out?
Oh, very well. I will. I should be going, but we'll speak again soon, I hope.
我们上完奇兽饲育学啦，接下来来去向管理员搭话，可以学习 Aloha Mora。
Hello again, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I was hoping to see you again, my young friend. Gladwin Moon, Hogwarts caretaker, at your service. First, please allow me to apologize if I seemed a bit unsteady when we last met. I'm afraid I had a rather disconcerting encounter. Although I hear your visit to Hogsmeade was even more eventful than mine.
I suppose you could call it eventful. I certainly wasn't expecting a troll attack.
Oh, of course not. And from what I understand, the village was lucky you were there. In fact, my recent visit to Hogsmeade is the reason I was hoping to bump into you. I could use your help with something. Do you see that curious statue over there? Watch what happens when that light changes from day to night.
瞬间晚上了，哇，晚上会发亮。
We are fortunate to have a student brave. Now, if you wouldn't mind humouring me for a moment, see if you can remove the moon from the statue. Go on, take the moon. Odd little contraptions, aren't they? It seems the statue vanishes once the moon is removed, which, incidentally, can only be done at night. Why don't you hold on to that one for now, and I'll explain more as we walk. Ever since that fateful day in the village, those curious statues have begun appearing about the castle. A fair number have been strewn around Hogsmeade.
奇怪的雕像。
Someone, it seems, is trying to torment me. You see, that day in Hogsmeade, I turned a corner and came face to face with a boggart, or shapeshifter, if you will, which takes the form of whatever scares you most. This one took the form of a demiguise.
A demiguise?
Yes! Terrifying creature that can see the future. Wholly unnerving. I encountered one when I was a lad in Korea. Terrible experience. Those statues are demiguises. The moons, I assume, are an uninspired play on my name. Some jackanapes used a boggart to learn my greatest fear and use it against me. I have my suspicion as to the scoundrel or scoundrels responsible. It is my hope that they will slip up and reveal themselves as the statues disappear. That is why I need your help in removing the statues.
Why me?
A couple of reasons, frankly. First, your daring do against those trolls in Hogsmeade has gained you a reputation for fearlessness. Second, as macabre and hideous as a demiguise is, most would find my fear of them unwarranted. You, however, have seen how they affect me. I'm at my wit's end, young friend. I simply can't bring myself to go near them. In fact, I know of two statues right here in the faculty tower. Perhaps you could start simply by removing them, so I can go about my evening duties.
虽然我觉得很奇怪，但我很乐意帮你的忙。
I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I knew I could count on you. First, you know how to cast a disillusionment charm, correct? You'll want to do that before wandering the tower at night. Next, you'll notice that the door is locked. However will you get in? Alahomora, that's how.
But what about curfew?
Curfew? Oh, tosh. I sense you're a bit like me when I was your age. Oh, the school was my oyster.
教坏小朋友。
And I took advantage of it. Oh, everyone loved me for it. Oh, those were the days. Now, you'll find one statue in the prefect's bathroom and the other in the hospital wing. Good luck. Oh, and thank you.
Alahomora。终于解锁Alahomora啦！有一大堆东西都锁住，进不去。
Alahomora.
这个要怎么解锁啊？看来我知道碰碰运气乱转了。哎呀，动了！所以是要靠声音吗？哎，原来真的是靠声音。
Well done! You're in. Remember, use a disillusionment charm so no one claps eyes on you. This is a restricted area of the castle after all.
这是城堡内的禁区。好啦，走吧，把自己隐藏起来。很刺激哦，不要被人家发现。有人了，直接走上去，不要管他。是卫斯理教授。
Is that so? We're raising a generation of coddled cape flappers that can scarcely tell the difference between Aconite and Asphodel.
Yes, well, it's still early.
You say that every year, Matilda.
竟然是卫斯理教授和夏普教授，他怎么不被他们发现？走，赶快走就好了。哦，他们没发现我。是有级长在这边巡视吗？
This must be the prefect's bathroom.
解锁，非常细微啊。有了。级长浴室哎。
Perhaps Ranrock and Hyssop wouldn't be so combative if the Ministry would allow them to have wands. One of those goblins comes near me, I'll camp in his hatch. Or helm, I suppose.
我偷偷开了泡泡。
I'm afraid of a goblin rebellion. My work in Professor Hecker's class is superb. I don't think that's what that class is for. She's right. Why don't you leave goblins alone? Bob, how dare you speak to a prefect that way? I'm a prefect too, you twit. That's it. 50 house points.
级长自己聊天，自己帮自己加分，然后好笑，有这样子的。啊！
I bet my badge I heard someone.
快拿到了！
Thinking they can simply go anywhere uninvited.
哦，我都到了，在这里重来呀！家庭小精灵都出来打扫了，藏起来。每次聊天的人不一样哦。 好了，可以回去，但他还没发现。
Revelio.
我想去拿，拿一下，看到就拿。要穿过他的面前，天啊！好，你没看到，赶快过来！快转身！你给我转身！他走了，太好了！我们大队教授在这啦！啊！突然被抓住了！再爬一次，一堆老师在那边，他们在那边读魁地奇耶！天哪！但是这里边也有一个，不敢突然冲过去。好。
If I can... Ha! My instincts are never wrong. I knew someone was intruding here.
要躲过老师真的太难了啦！他们就在那边聊魁地奇耶，要赌谁赢。再一次，老师们不见了，是不是我被抓到太多次了？拿到了，我们回来喽。
Hello, Mr. Moon. I have the moons you asked me to collect.
Oh goodness, you're as fearless as I'd hoped. An excellent start. If we can collect more, it may shed some light on who's behind all this. Of course, I first suspected Peeves. He drove the previous caretaker, Rancorous Carp, to an early retirement with his intolerable buffoonery. But that does not explain the boggart in Oxmead, does it? No. I am determined, with your help, to discover the identity of my tormentor.
虽然我还是觉得你很奇怪，可是我很乐意帮你。而且他姓穆恩 ，Moon， 姓月亮，然后怕月亮，真是蛮有意思的。
It's definitely intriguing. I'd like to help you solve this mystery.
You, my friend, are a gentle person and a scholar, and I have something to offer in exchange for your assistance. Now, remember, the moons are only retrievable at night. Thus, I encourage you to use a disillusionment when necessary.
How many statues are there to find?
I don't know precisely, but I've spotted dozens. Seems they're everywhere I look. You have your work cut out for you, if you were to ever unravel their meaning.
You mentioned offering something in exchange for my assistance.
I did. Once you've brought me enough moons, I'll show you even more powerful forms of Alohomora. Not every lock is as easy to pick as the faculty towers.
看来我们想学更厉害的 Alohomora， 解锁更多地方，就必须去找那个月亮，拿回来给月亮先生。
Understood. I shall keep an eye out.
I appreciate that.
学校里面也可以撸猫咪。我们上完了奇兽饲育学，也解锁了 Alohomora， 以后就可以去更多地方啦。
We are fortunate to have a student brave enough to eradicate the Demiguise figurine menace.
为什么两个老师突然跑出来？我刚才被他们两个抓然后现在经过我面前都没有觉得怎样，也不会怎么样。非常高兴我们以后可以解锁更多地方喽。那我们今天就先玩到这边，喜欢我的影片请帮我订阅、按赞、开启小铃铛。 频道还有玩其他游戏，也可以去看看上一集。希望今年底可以突破200订阅。如果可以的话，帮我到贴文投票调查一下，我想知道大家喜欢什么系列。感谢您今天的收看，我们下次见，拜拜。